Eveline. I am considered by those who have the honour of my acquaintance to be a pattern of propriety. I am pointed out by anxious mothers as an excellent example of careful training. But in my appearance and ordinary habits, I am not so straight-laced as I am represented. The men call me dull, and say, "A pretty girl, but you know, dear boy, there is no fun in her." Fun, in the mind of the society man of the present day, means immorality. I am not going to moralize. I do not even wish to be a self-appointed censor of the times in which I live. I do not personally care a pin what becomes of society, so long as I succeed in avoiding the arrows of detraction, scorn, and contempt which it launches against any luckless member who has the misfortune to be found out. I hardly think it will do so in my case. I take all possible precautions to pursue my silent path of sensual indulgence in obscurity and peace. My stepfather, Sir Edward Lancing, started life a rich man, entered the army, and went to India to serve with his regiment. His wife died giving birth to their second son, Percy, and on returning to the Empire, he met and married my mother, a widow with whom he was shut up for a month or two on the voyage out. She was good-looking, tall, and coarse, and he soon tired of her. After dragging us about for 3 months with his regiment, he sent us home to England, along with my 2 step-brothers. I knew little of the elder in my childhood, but as for Percy, we were companions until I was sent to school and he to rugby. He was 15 and I 13 when these important events happened. I suppose I was always curious and inquiring as a child, and Percy being curious also, together we secretly investigated the remarkable differences in our physiological structure. We pursued our studies at such intervals as our privacy and opportunities permitted. We slept in the same room, and would steal furtively into each other's beds, to whisper and wonder at the delight which the feeling and caressing of those dissimilarities afforded us. In short, we masturbated each other, until we were separated, as I have already related. For me there followed a couple of years at a Brighton seminary, exclusively for the daughters of gentlemen, where 1 or 2 of the elder daughters of gentlemen informed us of the junior classes what a naked man was like, with curly hair on his belly, and a thing dangling between his legs, which they described as twice the size of my brother Percy's. They went further, and one declared that she had seen and handled one, that they grew stiff and upright, in which condition men endeavoured to thrust them into girls. But I listened and said nothing, and for my pains was called a little fool and an innocent. From the Brighton seminary I was packed off to a finishing school near Paris, a large house which stood in its own grounds and had a short garden in front leading to the lodge. This was tenanted by the janitor, a hunchback of some 45 years of age, who stood about 4 feet and a few inches in his boots. His hump was sufficient disfigurement, but his ungainly ugliness, his long hair and huge hands and feet added greatly to his weird appearance. With all this, however, his face was not repulsive, and his manner the reverse of brutal. One afternoon I passed the door of the lodge. It was not closed, and I could see a curtain, behind which was the inner room. Only a few minutes before, I had noticed one of the older girls go in, so I entered after her. All being silent, I peeped through a corner of the heavy curtain. The hunchback was standing sideways to me, while the girl I had followed was sitting in his big chair before him. Her clothes were disarranged, and her legs and white belly uncovered. The man's big paw was between her thighs. He was fingering her pretty slit. What struck me most was that he had in front a huge and naked limb. It was quite twice the size of Percy's, and very straight and stiff. The young lass was sucking the big lead-coloured knob, which was rolling in and out of her mouth, while he wriggled backwards and forwards, so that sometimes almost all of the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?